are in town. And they're not gonna keep hanging on without these people coming into town. We need visitors in town to help these restaurants stay afloat. And another thing with this, we've got any tickets that is wrote for ATVs will automatically go to the city. All the money that any tickets are wrote will come to ticket. Tickets are supposed to come. I'm nervous. But, and another thing, we've got stickers. They'll be on sale at City Hall if this passes. They'll be $12.50 a piece. And we've got a list of rules and regulations on the back page of this ordinance. And I think it covers just about everything. There are a lot of people was confused about this. This is not an ordinance for people to come into town and ride backwards and forwards all day long. This is to come in, get gas, whatever you need, and go and leave. It's not going to be cruising up and down the streets. And another thing, you'll have to have a driver's license to operate on a city street. You have to wear helmets. And there'll be no speeding or anything like that. And that's about all I got to say. Y'all got any questions you'd like to ask?
Is this open for discussion or?
No, just a second. Yes, we can just. Well, I guess we should. Well, it's for first reading. There's no vote, so we could open it for discussion. Okay, if you would just let me know before you start speaking and hold up your hand. Go ahead, Yvonne.
My concern has always been that they're not required to have insurance, are they?
Yes.
They are required to have insurance?
Have to be 16 years of age or older.
I mean, insurance, they're not, like vehicle insurance?
Yeah.
By law, they're required to have insurance.
They have to
They're
have
not.
insurance.
I've not.
Actually, I think
They've not passed that law yet that I'm aware of, Carl. But now that could be mandatory.
It could be put into this.
Yeah. It could be mandatory that you have liability insurance.
Actually, we can ask Mike about this law. We need to know the laws about the four-wheelers. By law, are they required to have insurance? Because if somebody, four-wheelers do?
Go ahead.
ATVs are not required to carry liability insurance, and now that don't mean you can't put it in that ordinance. That if they're going to operate in the city limits, they have to have liability insurance. But by KRS, they don't have to have liability insurance.
If we put it in this ordinance, you can enforce
It'd
it.
be the city enforcement, yes.
Then what would be the fine?
You'd have to set all that up.
Set a fine system.
We could do that.
As I recall, the ordinances.
The only thing is we can't. I talked to Don about this. Don's a supporter of the Little League, and I support this. I support ATV, but we can't tell them they can operate on this street out here with that being a state highway. Because a city law can't override a state law.
That's right.
So it would be pertaining to city streets only.
On section, in the section 4, section 4, number 1, there's a blank left there. I guess it's on page 3. See where it says specific provisions, number 1, and there's lines there that was saying that ATVs would not be allowed on.
You fill that in with the state Department of Transportation highways, and that would probably make the ordinance legal.
And any other areas that you wanted to restrict, or that was one of the reasons that was left that way, so you could tailor it or identify only the streets that you would want them on, if you wanted.
It does say in number 3 too, it says such access routes do not include or involve state or federal highways. the operator shall cross, you know, at a 90-degree angle. I mean, that's in there already.
That's actually KRS, the 90-degree angle, 2/10 of a mile, that's quoting KRS word for word. So if that's in there, then it should be all right.
Best I recall, you know, hopefully, this whole ordinance was in keeping with the state law. And so much of the state law is quoted, as you said, word for word. You can't mess up when you quote the state law word for word. So much of it is quoted word for word. The stuff about the helmets, other kinds of things, which would include crossing the road, the state highway, that there in number 3. So it's consistent with KRS 189.515. 189.515 is the state statute dealing with ATVs.
Paragraph 6.